from a data standpoint, how do we step back, because we don't own all the silos within healthcare, right? So people say, well, why can't you share data? And we say, well, it's 800 applications and it's not all in a central place. And when we do bring it into a central place, because eventually we started with EDWs and we're moving to more sophisticated models, but even still, when we bring all that data together, it doesn't mesh real well. And then people were like, well, just share it with the patient. But this is where architecture really comes into play. What are you thinking in terms of being able to make that data available, to patients, to innovators, to researchers? How are you going to make it easier for them to access it, but still maintain? This is what architecture is about: maintaining the security, maintaining the controls, and maintaining the quality of the data in the product.
That's a very good question. So obviously, there's a lot of work to be done around the data and architecting that data such that you enable its use. And that will be a big focus for the person that comes to Stanford. He or she will definitely be working a lot on the analytics side. And of course, it's not just about how do you persist that data, as you mentioned, store it or persist that data. It's really more how do you use it in new and novel ways and drive organizational performance. So, great examples are real-time and predictive analytics. Probably one of the big opportunities to drive organizational performance and to eliminate waste, improve asset utilization and patient experience. And so, we'll be working on those kinds of things. But to your point, to actually do those kinds of things, you have to enable or get the data to the point where that you can use that to enable these kinds of applications. And that's a journey. That's not, I do a project, my data is all good, and all I have to do is just, fire up a couple APIs and I'm ready to go. That's going to be a journey, and we're going to be working on that for a very long time. And I would say that's, if you really look at IT strategy, if we're also developing an IT strategic plan, data and analytics and the use of that data is absolutely top 2 initiatives. And so, I think the old days of, let's stuff it all in the warehouse, then let's build some dashboards, and oh, by the way, let's extract that, we'll send it over to the School of Medicine so they can do their research. Those are all fine things to do, but we end up persisting data multiple times. We don't really have a good handle on our data governance in terms of the lineage of the data and how it's actually being used. And we actually, because of these setups, we can't really leverage it the way we want to. Now, that doesn't contemplate the other areas that you've talked about, controls like security or privacy controls and making sure those are appropriate. But taking a purposeful view in architecture allows us to actually engineer those solutions and perhaps be a little less ad hoc about it. Regardless, those controls have to be in place.